Okay. Abe's Fish. We liked this book. This is about a young Abraham Lincoln. I'll give you a little flippy through because I think I like looking inside of the books and seeing kind of how they're laid out, what the illustrations are like. What did you think about this book? Just say one thing. You like that he went fishing?
Yeah. And this is like most of the time.
Do you remember reading this book?
Okay. Yeah, we looked at it a long time ago.
It was a while back. We only read through this one time, but it was interesting. It was kind of like Sweet Clara and the Freedom Quilt and other stories about the Underground Railroad. In this one, the way that the blacksmith hammers in the evening sends signals to the runaways. Brick by Brick is about building the White House and how slave labor was used in doing that. These are good American history.
And this is like a
This is one that I think Naomi picked out when we were at the library. It goes through the whole alphabet, but I don't know that she had picked up
I picked my old book.
It was cute.
My old book.
Oh yeah. And then this one we actually read several times. This is about so on the border of Mexico and America. That's nice, bud.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's right. On the border of Mexico and America, when people are queued up waiting to go through the border, apparently there's somebody who's called the notebook keeper, and they keep track of
the notebook keeper.
Yep, the families and where they're from, and give them a number so that when their number is called up, they can go across. But the notebook keeper themselves are somebody who's waiting to go across also. And so when their number gets called up, then they have to pass on the job of the notebook keeper to someone else. So this is This is an interesting one. We read this one time. This was really sweet. I liked this story.
I liked Jacob's style.
There were some good character traits of telling the truth and working hard. A day's work.
Yeah, Jacob's style.
We've checked this one out several times. This is one that we just want to buy at this point. But if you don't know what it's about.
A can.
Yes. This boy is inviting his friends in on cooking his favorite meal, which is dal, and them experiencing that. This one I thought was literally just going to be about Thanksgiving, but there were some aspects of magic, time travel, and lying, and all in all, I wasn't a fan.
This one is called Mitzvah Pizza.
This was an interesting one called Mitzvah Pizza. Yeah. Yeah, this was a cute one. This is a story about a little girl deciding to be generous with her money. And it's based on a real pizza shop where people can buy, basically like sponsor a slice of pizza and then stick a Post-it note up on the wall, and then other people can come in and use them to pay for their pizza if they don't have money for pizza. So that was cute. This is a fun autumn apple book. It shows how it does take several years. I think it says like 6 years in here for a baby apple tree to get to the point of like actually growing good apples. And then it also shows like real apple growing, apple picking tools and things like that. And there's a recipe for apple pie, and yeah, anyways, that was a fun. This is another interesting one. Yeah, and this is another repeat book. But when we were in the library, we spotted it and had to bring it home again. So this is a story about grandmothers in a village in India who have never learned to read or write, and a school opened up just for them. And then these are some books that I checked out for myself. This is a juvenile fiction about a Korean American student who's dealing with racism in her middle school, and then she learns the stories of her grandparents surviving the Korean War. So that was an interesting book. This one I actually didn't even get into yet, but it's a dual timeline, actually more than dual. I think there's 4 different characters. It's written by the same person, I think, who wrote, oh no, I'm wrong about that. But it reminds me a lot of this book called Refugee, which was like 3 different timelines going together. But this is on World War One.
This goes else by care.
That's not what it's called. But anyways, I need to check this book out so that I can actually read it. This was checked out on recommendation by Chantel. Yes, we like to watch Chantel so we can get good ideas of books to read. So this is about a girl whose mom is Chinese and her dad is white, and the racism that they experienced and then continue experiencing in this frontier times in America. It's completely made up. It was inspired largely based on the Little House series, but the author is, I believe, Korean.
This is not like those numbers.
Yeah, so the author loved the Little House series growing up, and she had always kind of inserted herself as an Asian American into those stories, and so this was kind of her telling a frontier story. If there was an Asian American girl in Laura's days who may have even been friends with the Ingalls family. The Ingalls are not like characters in here, but there is a family that's sort of based on their characters.
Close looking like those numbers. Most of them I could see teeth and stuff. I didn't know the this stuff.
Can I talk about this book real quick?
Okay.
And this was another recommendation from Chantel. This is The Last Bookshop in London, and this is actually a adult fiction, historical fiction book. All in all, I actually really enjoyed it. It was very much centered in a bookshop, and this girl, the character, goes from being not a reader to being a very passionate reader and enjoyer of books. So it was an enjoyable read. I did find it to be a little cheesy at points. And yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting perspective though. Hey Timothy, I need you to wait, honey. Can you set those down? Set those down. It was an interesting perspective on World War II though, because I don't know that I've ever read a book that was focused in so much on the Blitz. So that was interesting. All in all, I enjoyed the book. So, we're gonna head back to the library and return these and probably get out some more.